Hello and welcome to another video game story time with me, Sky Fellowship. And today's story is going to be one day I will learn to come up with the actual name of the thing. Because the problem is the way my brain works. I get the idea for the video, I get the story that I want to see, that I want to harp on essentially, that I want to bring up. But then I, for some reason, forget to then immediately go, I should really come up with the name of it before I actually start fucking recording. So yeah. Yeah, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. You'll have already seen it. That's the thing that I need to stop delaying, because you will have already seen what I eventually come up with. Even if I don't come up with it in the video, or because sometimes I change it afterwards. So I'm going to say the reason I've got Smash Brothers on is if you haven't seen the video that I put up about Ocarina of Time and how video games saved my life, this is a story about something that was kind of sucky, but it's not like trauma-laden or anything. It's just kind of sucky, because anyone who's watched that video knows that that game really, really, truly did mean something so important to me. It's unbelievable. Which is why, coming home from wherever the hell I'd been that day, to find out that my older brother, it was his console, and I will always preface this, it was his console, it was his copy of the game, I fully get this, he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants with his property, that's the way the world works, and it's why there was no, like, severe malice or anything, there was never any anger that I had towards him. I was just severely disappointed that one day I came home, and he's like, I wanted to wait until you'd fully beat Ocarina of Time. I know fine well you have done, because you've told me you'd 100%ed it and that. I'm selling my N64. And I was like, I'm really gutted about this. I was trying to plead not to do it, and like, I will save up and buy it from you. And he's like, no, what I should have said is, I've actually sold the N64. I'm literally going to go give it to the person I've already got the cash from. So yeah, I wasn't having the best time of things, because again, the game was rather important to my mental health, and I was really gutted. And he ended up getting me a couple of PlayStation games as an apology with some of the money that he got, which was, like, cool. I was happy with that. I think I actually might have got a new Resident Evil game or something. But for years after, I hated that I still only had a PlayStation, because as much as I really liked the PlayStation library, and this is the way I've always said this, and obviously everyone's different, everyone's got their own tastes and opinions, PlayStation definitely had the quantity, but fucking hell did N64 have the quality. I don't think there's a single game on the PlayStation, and I am aware that firstly, I've already said I absolutely adore the fuck out of Resident Evil. I am aware Metal Gear Solid exists. I am aware there are a lot of games like that. There's Chrono Trigger on a technicality. Firstly, it wasn't released in this country, in Europe at all, to be fair, for years. Secondly, that was a SNES game, let's be real. I understand there are some truly brilliant games. But at the same time, I didn't have most of those brilliant games. I didn't get to play Metal Gear Solid until the GameCube version. Like, when you grow up without the internet, without, like, living on magazines and going to skeevy second-hand stores, you don't really have the greatest selection of games available to you. So for me, personally, because of all of these specific scenarios, N64 had the quality, my PlayStation had the quantity. So it took a couple of years, but eventually they realised that I still wasn't shutting up about playing this fucking game, about playing the N64, and Smash Brothers. It just came out. I was playing it with my friends, and I think Smash Brothers is when my parents finally realised, yeah, we need to get them an N64 back. Like, seriously, this is just one of those things that needs to be the gift. So for Christmas, I got the Pikachu N64, the one that's like blue with the blue and yellow on that, and lit up with the Pikachu cheeks. I wasn't even, like, a massive Pokemon fan. I was, to be fair, a kind of massive Pokemon fan, but, like, by that point, I was already starting to dwane, because I love Gen 1, love Gen 2, but, like, just between Gen 2 and Gen 3, I was starting to lose enthusiasm for it, so I didn't really care about the Pikachu console. It was still cool, and I liked the controller, I liked the blue and the yellow and everything. And I kind of wish that I'd kept it now to be able to sell it on, once I found out just how much money it's fucking worth these days. But I got Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, which was supposed to be a surprise, but I accidentally found it one day, and it's just as well I did, because I knew everything about Majora's Mask before even playing it, and I knew that it needed an expansion pack, and I kind of basically said to them, listen, you did not do a good job of hiding that. This was one of those things. It was in my mother's purse, and basically she put her purse on the couch, and then she said, "Oh yeah, just move my purse." And as soon as I moved it, I fucking saw it. It's like, okay. So I was like, listen, I know it was supposed to be a surprise, but at the same time, it's probably just as well, because I have pocket money and you need to take me to the shop and we need to hope that I can get something called an expansion pack. And they knew fuck all about technology anyway, and it's like, what the fuck's an expansion pack? And it's like, okay, so I have to do this first. So I had to explain what the expansion pack was, and then I had to explain it makes some games better, but it literally makes some games function. And Majora's Mask was one of the games that, if you didn't have it, it wasn't playable. So they took me to the second-hand store, and I actually managed to get one of them second-hand, which was brilliant, because it was like 15 quid cheaper, so I ended up getting a game for myself. And cut to Christmas, where I finally got my N64 back. I immediately put Majora's Mask on and played the crap out of it, because obviously it was the new Zelda. Then after I beat Majora's Mask, I went straight back and beat Ocarina of Time again. I beat Pokemon Stadium. I believe it was Pokemon Stadium that came with the Pikachu N64. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I just got a bundle. I don't think it was Pokemon Snap, because I rented that from Blockbusters. And I actually almost lost that one day, because they gave me it in a case that was broken. And I complained about it at the time. The break in the case was actually so big that the cart fit through it, and when I was like, literally going home to return it, it fell out and fell under the car, and somehow we managed to not drive over it. We actually drove back looking for it and found, literally as we parked up, it was there. So we immediately turned back to Blockbusters. I'm doing story after story here, I understand, but either way, I played the crap out of Majora's Mask, I played the crap out of Ocarina of Time, and I started to finally be able to build my N64 library, and I still barely had any games. Like, the reason my brother got rid of it is he only actually had 7 games, and he didn't really like any of them. Yes, that's right, he doesn't like Ocarina of Time. Part of it is he hates the controller, part of it is I genuinely think Zelda games got to the point where they're too complicated for him. Like, he struggled to beat A Link to the Past, and I actually, before I'd even played A Link to the Past, before I'd got obsessed with Zelda, I taught him how to beat Agahim, because I'd been watching, I hope that's how you pronounce that, I've never, like, it's one of those names that I've always read it in a game, I've never heard it, so I taught him how to beat Agahim, basically, the wizard, and he was always a little irked about that. But cut to the N64, he had a Star Wars game, Shadows of the Empire, he had a FIFA game, he had Ocarina of Time, and then a couple other little things that I genuinely can't even remember right now. He didn't like any of them, and it's still sacrilegious to me, it really is. Like, how do you... Because he grew up in that era as well. It's not a case of he went back and was like, this game's too old. This was modern stuff at the time. But, yeah. I know... Again, this is one of those chaotic tangent after tangent after tangent videos, so I do keep kind of circling back, but I don't think there's much I can circle back with here, because I am kind of done. I was so happy to finally have my fucking N64 back. And again, obviously, it wasn't mine. It wasn't originally, but at least now I finally had access and could play some of my all-time favourite games, and it really fucking helped. It's why... It's one of those things that really did prove to me just how important Ocarina was to me after it really did save my life. Because as soon as I lost access to it, I was miserable for the longest time. And it's like, I shouldn't be that way with technology. And now, I've obviously gone years and years without playing it. And the way things go, I can give or take some things. I can go back to them eventually. It was decades before I finally got to play Conker's Bad Fur Day again. But you might have noticed that video went up. And I still love Conker. Again, it's aged with some problematic stuff, I am fully aware, but the actual gameplay, the moment-to-moment gameplay, is just perfection. It's still, to this day, so fun to play. I don't know what it is, but I'm finding my nostalgia with classic games has been problematic recently. I'm really struggling to play NES games and SNES games and Game Boy Advance games. I'm struggling to play stuff like that. But for some reason, every single time I go to a classic and it's on an N64, I'm reminded just how fucking good they were. So yeah, total off-the-rails batshit video today. I fully understand. Total lack of focus. It's been a day at the time of recording this. I genuinely might be having surgery in a week's time if things are bad. It's minor. It's like... I don't want to go too much information, but it would be minor. It shouldn't even require any anaesthetic or anything. But it's the health issue I've been having that I've mentioned in a couple of videos, and I just got back from the doctors and thought, you know what, I need to defrag, detox. What I can't think of the word. I need to decompress. I need to put something on for comfort, and immediately I was like, I want to play an N64 game. And then I started to get the idea for a video, and then that video led to another video. So yeah, it's just been that kind of embrace the chaos kind of day. So until next time, the waffling is finally over, and I would like to see it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I've been Sky Fellowship. Bye. I know I did that in reverse. That's going to drive anyone with OCD mad. It's actually irking me, but I am more powerful than my OCD. I do not need to re-record the end. Bye.